The Aussie Mana Apocalypse. Written by C.J. Timms. Narrated by Chris Miller. To my brother, for always sharing the Nintendo. To my parents, for driving me to all those games of Warhammer at Bateman's Bay. It has more things that will kill you than anywhere else. Of the 10 most poisonous snakes, all are Australian. 5 of its creatures, the funnel web spider, box jellyfish, blue-ringed octopus, paralysis tick and stonefish, are the most lethal of their type in the world. This is a country where even the fluffiest of caterpillars can lay you out with a toxic nip, where seashells will not just sting you, but actually sometimes go for you. If you are not stung or pronged to death in some unexpected manner, you may be fatally chomped by sharks or crocodiles, or carried helplessly out to sea by irresistible currents, or left to stagger to unhappy death in the baking outback. It's a tough place. Bill Bryson, in a sunburned country. Copyright 2020, Christopher James Timms, all rights reserved. The characters and events portrayed in this book are fictitious. Any similarity to real persons living or dead is coincidental and not intended by the author. No part of this book may be reproduced or stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording or otherwise, without express written permission of the publisher. Cover design by Andrew Hoare. I wanted to write a LitRPG book that tackled the issues facing young rural Australians coming of age. I grew up in rural Australia. Internet was sparse, video game stores rare, and yet RPGs filled hours of my childhood. There are barriers to attending university for students from rural areas, though I was very fortunate to receive a scholarship, have the support of my parents, and a job at Bi-Lo supermarket. In my time, I pushed many trolleys and cooked a lot of barbecue chickens. This book takes place in Australia, in a fictional apocalypse, and deals with battles for land. I have only the highest respect for the traditional owners of country. I acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to the land, waters and culture. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. Chapter 1. There are a certain amount of lies that are acceptable on returning home from a gap year. Everyone expects a bit of exaggeration. Keat reflected, looking out over Menindee Lake. Some flair to a story just makes it more enjoyable, and no one loves to tell a story more than a young adventurer returning home from their odyssey. Young Australians flew out into the world for their gap years. They travelled overseas to slay the dragons of poverty and malnutrition in volunteering programs. They sailed on the Young Endeavour, their own version of the Argo. They made pilgrimages through Europe, finding out who they were in the backpacker hostels of Britain, or through quiet meditation in the mountains.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?